Hello, my beautiful beings and peeps. I was actually just enjoying this gorgeous view from one of my spaces in my house. Now we got the Christmas tree too. I mean, it's all awesome. I just had a friend here that had asked me to do his podcast, a brilliant, conscious, beautiful being with so much light to share, and wanted to actually come and just sit in the space together and do an audio recording. And it brought up something for me that I really wanted to share with you guys, because I'm aware of this right now because even just launching my locklast.com, or my locklast formula, now available to the public and for the world to actually get to implement it and try it and have it create and shift their life for free. And all these people and these things coming up as we're looking at how to shift our life to being awesomeness in every single aspect. And what I recognized is we were actually having a conversation in the podcast, and he was noticing where, he blocks himself in creating money, or blocks a certain level or amount, even because it's like things have to look a certain way for me to be able to do that. And how our whole conversation is so silly and funny, how it evolves around, making things so hard. That we make it so hard in this 3D dimensional, creation of matter and illusions that we create in our human experience. We bump up against things and we make it so hard, when the truth is, it is so easy. You were designed to operate so effortlessly. You were designed to create so effortlessly. It's only the stories and all those things that you've taken on that are keeping you from that. And obviously the program that you're operating, because everything that you're doing is based out of your pre-7-year-old, what you felt, heard, and learned. And so this is the thing that I just wanted to bring it back to and assist you guys in understanding, is like, even when I was that $2 an hour waitress, with less than 10 bucks to my name, with 2 kids to feed, and I knew I'm going there, I'm going to an epic life. We think of life as this all or none. This is how we've been trained to operate, and that seeing it as all or none. If I know the path and how, and I'm not going to be rejected, and I'm sure it's going to work out, then I'll take the step. But what happens when we do that is we literally keep ourselves from taking the step, because we're like, I have to know how it's all going to look. And think about it, like, that's impossible. Creation happens moment at a time. When you take one step into something, the next thing shows up that gives you where you get to go next, and where you get to go next, and where you get to go next. And so we were talking about this, though, in that he's like, I noticed that the areas that I struggle with, say for instance, maybe you struggle in business, and maybe there's where there's a lot of resistance. So it's easy for us to focus on the areas that we feel validated in. We feel like we have some control in, and we're like, well, I can go rock out the body. I'll go hit the gym, or I can, rock out my spiritual growth, but I'll kind of ignore what's going on with my business, because, what happens is what's happening really there's a reason why there's resistance. But notice, this is what the surface self-empowerment or society will tell you to do, which is just, he's like, okay, well, that's really good advice. So now let's say, for instance, I'm talking about, instead of looking at like, I'm going to an epic life, if I look at the big picture, I'm frozen. I don't know how I'm going to get there, what it's going to look like based on where I am now, but if I put my head the fuck down and I go, I'm just going to take the next inch, then I'm like, I take it an inch at a time, and I look up and oh my gosh, I've gone a mile, right? Like, versus not moving at all. Now, there's a disconnect in this, in how surface self-empowerment or society trains you, is they go, okay, just put your head down and just go the next inch. So he's like, oh, so you're telling me, like, okay, like, I really just need to, like, look at that business stuff and go, okay, I've just got to, like, take the next inch and just push myself to do the next inch and do it. Well, guess what? When you have to push yourself to do it, when you force yourself to do it, when you fight to do it, when you're going through the motions, all of that, look at the energy that's in. Have to, should, need, I have to do this, I'm forcing myself to do this, I'm going to do this. So you might take an inch, but you just fucking push yourself back a mile, because what you're going to bring up is sabotage. You're going to bring up things to make it hard and prove that you can't do it, and the shoulds and the needs and the have tos, because the energy that you're doing in isn't, ooh, I want to do this, I'm worthy of having this, and this is what I'm excited about creating and seeing where it goes and what I get to get from it. It's more about, I have to do this because I think it has to look a certain way, so I'll get to the end result. Which is just fucking you anyways, because it's not in alignment with how easy and effortless it's meant to be, that you're worthy of having it, that you're excited, you're curious to see what it gets to be, that it feels good. So I just want you to hear this and tune into, if something doesn't feel good to you, it's because there's a disconnect, there's a resistance to it. Instead of forcing yourself to do it, tune into that. So if you guys, there's two things I can give you to support you in this, because I know this would be a lot more understanding in the how-tos to shift it. If you go to my marcilockmentoring.com, you can get my freedom audios that teach you how you're meant to operate and actually how to walk through it as well. Plus, I think you even get one other link, which is one of my main core shifters. If you guys are interested in getting my Lock Last formula for only a little while right now, we're literally like offering this for free, that you can go to locklast.com and get my Lock Last formula. It's the formula to make every single aspect of your life last in awesomeness. And it's the formula that I implement with all my peeps. So you can do that and be able to get that right away and be able to start implementing that and using that. See the difference that it makes in your life. These are the things that I wanted to create to start to serve the masses and assist the world. So I just want you guys to hear, it's not about forcing yourself to do anything. It's about allowing yourself to receive all the awesomeness that's available, because you are the only you. You're the only gift and genius that you are, and you're already worthy. So love you guys. I'm actually going to rock out one more podcast and go play with my babes for date night. So power choice is yours. Choose your best life. Love you. Lock it down.